People always ask what's the best synthesizer plugin for pad sounds, for bass sounds and whatnot. Big news, the one that you already have. Honestly, that's true. I show you how I created this one. And also this one. And I was inspired by this Silat Beksi pad sounds. This one is a little bit darker sounding, very deep. This has a nice swell, and this one is going what we create. And this one. Listening context. Hey friends, Silvano here from roughandstudio.com. So, the beautiful thing in today's world, in the internet age, is that we actually can download sample packs from our idols, right? From our heroes, and then analyze them. That's exactly what I did here. I got the latest sample pack from Silat Beksi. The main elements of this track comes from or created by myself, but they are inspired by the pad sounds that I found in this sample pack. And I'll show you what we can create, how I created them. And remember, as mentioned in another video, imitate and then emulate. It's not an exact recreation, but I think the vibe is some kind similar. Let's have a listen again. And the thing is, we can create those sounds with a crazy simple synthesizer plugin. Look at this. This is the primer, as showed in another video. This is the plugin version from Synthorial. I highly recommend go get Synthorial. It's the best thing I could find about the sound synthesis, sound design, learning all the different things about the synthesizer. Check out the video for the review. Before we jump in, I just quickly want to mention all the main elements that you hear in this track are basically coming from myself. Pad, this pad, this pad, bassline, also created with the primer, really basic, and of course hi-hats. They give a nice drive to the track without some nice interacting feeling, groove. And again, if you want to know how to create quick hi-hats, check out the video about Hats for Days by Alex Kidd, how to quickly create groovy hi-hat patterns within a few minutes. Yeah, that's it. So now let's jump in how I created those pad sounds. There are some main ingredients that we need to cover to actually create pad sounds, and it's, yeah, as you can see, this is a basic synthesizer plugin. It has 1, 2, 3 oscillators. One is a sub oscillator, which can give you sub frequencies, low end frequencies. Then we have the filter, one filter. We have only one LFO. That's why I needed another LFO from Ableton to automate the cutoff. Let's see that quickly. You see here, and that's what I meant. It's so simple, crazy simple plugin, but still we can get creative and get around it, right? There are free plugins out there. I don't remember the name, but the Tall is a freeware plugin, and it even has more function than this one. It has 2 LFOs, I guess. But anyway, it has a amp envelope, of course, mod envelope, voices, 6 voices, unison, and some effects here. And that's enough to create this pad, right? Let's create the init patch. So that's where we start, right? Now this mix knob determines how we want to hear the oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. So I work with the saw waveform on both oscillators, and then I use the pitch 19 semitone, up. So if I switch the mix knob to the oscillator 1, I only hear this waveform. If I go all the way up to the oscillator 2, I hear the second one, which is tuned, right? And now I use the mix knob to mix both of them. So I have 15, yeah, a little bit more of the oscillator 1. Nothing really crazy, right? Now, with the filter cutoff, we can determine the darkest point, and with the envelope amount knob, the brightest point. So now, since we are playing different notes at the same time, we need to use the polyphonic mode. I just go up to 6 voices, even if we play not as much as 6 notes. Now it already sounds more interesting, right? Then another important thing is the unison function, which detunes both oscillators against each other. I can go crazy, and I also have a spread function. Now I can use the LFO to automate some parameters here, And here are the parameters that I can automate with the LFO. So in this example, I want to automate the pan, because if I listen to this one, it moves around, right? And as mentioned before, with the filter amount envelope knob, we can determine the brightness of the sound, right? In this case, this sounds really deep, kind of darker. Now let's add some effects here, phaser maybe. Some chorus. A little bit of reverb maybe. And because this synth is so basic, it only has one LFO. Some other plugins has maybe, I don't know how many LFOs, probably more than one. But I needed to help myself out because I actually wanted to automate that, but we already assigned this one LFO that we have to the pan section. So I just took the LFO from Ableton Live, and then you can assign or map this LFO to other plugins, right? So I did this one, and controlling the LFO and the envelope and the decay. So to sum it up, the crucial steps here is oscillator 1, oscillator 2, saw, and then mix both together. Use the different notes at the same time, chords playing. I used just the chord plugin and fiddling around a little bit. I had no clue, man. And then unison is very important. Some effects here, whatever you like. Crucial step is also cutoff to determine the darkest point, the lowest point, and also the brightness to determine how bright you want the sound to be. And then the attack on the amp envelope, which determines the volume, right? So we have a nice swell in and swell out with the release. And yeah, that's it already. And then we control some stuff with the cutoff and LFO from Ableton. We have another sound, and that's it, this one. Let's see, this one is basically, the foundation is the same one, using 2 oscillators. The pitch is different. Sounds also interesting, right? One crucial thing here is the reverb and the delay. Phaser. And unison. Wow. And also I was using the LFO to the volume here. So this is without. With. And yeah. Then of course we can automate whatever, being creative, right? Something like this. I was just fiddling around a little bit with the filter amp envelope. And I came up with some different kind of interesting sound. So that's what I would call sound design session for myself. Again, to sum it up, I was listening to those pads. I don't know if you like this. I like it somehow, you know. And we haven't even been using the sample, right? The exact same pad sound. We just used it as a reference guide to imitate and then emulate, right? I need really to hammer this into my head because, and then again, the important thing to create pads is first the tag and release on the amp envelope, filter envelope, cutoff, and the envelope amount knob for the brightness, how bright, dark we want it. Then the waveforms and the mix knob, and also the pitch, and then the unison function to make it really interesting and bright, and detuning it, right? Like here. I mean, it sounds really boring without this. And then adding some effects, and that's it already. I'll make it long again. And this LFO is some kind working like a compressor, right? It goes down, so it starts here and swells down, tack, falls down. Maybe let's use a sine wave maybe. Oh, they don't even have a fucking sine wave for it. But this one also can be smooth. Oh, I like this. You know what? Now now I'm in the fucking flow mode. Let's add sound toys or filter freak maybe. We can use that and a crystallizer. Maybe also a face mistress maybe. So yeah, to sum this up, it's more like a hands-on tutorial, fly on the wall. But to sum this up, yeah, really, find a synthesizer plugin that fits your needs. I mean, as you saw, we can create so interesting sounds with some basic functions on a synthesizer. Just 2 LFOs, sub oscillator. Yeah, really basic, even with 1 LFO. And there are some freeware out there, like this for tall electro, for example. 2 oscillators, sub oscillator, mixer, filter, envelope, LFO. This even has 2 LFOs, right? So we can assign this one maybe to the cutoff, this LFO to the panning, not like this one. And then we can create really interesting sounds, and I guess it's for free, this one. And then really just find a synthesizer plugin that looks appealing to you, that has easy access to the parameters. That's at least how I like it. I could also use the massive one, but at the moment it looks too overwhelming for my needs at the moment. It has tons of oscillator waveforms, different waveforms. I can assign LFO and things to everything. At the moment that's too much for myself. I mean, I'm able to kind of recreate the Silat Beksi pad sound, so that's enough for me at the moment. So my recommendation is just find one synth plugin that looks appealing to you, that the usability is appealing to you, that you like to work with, and that gets you result. Maybe it's a massive, that's okay. For me at the moment it's a primer plugin because I'm used to it already, and I get cool results that I like. And yeah, that's it. I hope this helps. If you want to learn more about low end mixing, the kick and the bass, which is my 7-step low end checklist, it covers all the tools, the techniques that you need to get through to really master the low end game. If you struggle with that, or if you just want to use it as a reference guide, just go to the link below and you can download it for free, of course. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. It means a lot to me. Hope this helps. Cheers.